The year is 1942. The city of Sevastopol is burning for months. The German 11th Army has been pounding this port city with everything they have: heavy artillery, Stuka dive bombers, tanks. The ground shakes day and night. The air is thick with gray dust and the smell of cordite, but on this particular morning, the guns fall silent. Instead of shells, the Germans use a different weapon, a loudspeaker. A giant voice booms across the cratered battlefield. It echoes off the ruined walls of the fortress. It is directed at one person. Lyudmila, the voice shouts in broken Russian. Lyudmila Pavlichenko, come over to us. In a muddy foxhole, 300 yards away, a young woman lifts her head. She is covered in dirt. Her uniform is torn. She is tired. The German voice continues. Lyudmila, we know you are hungry. Come to us. We will give you plenty of chocolate. We will make you a German officer. The German soldiers in the trenches start to laugh. They think it is a great joke. They think this Soviet sniper is just a girl, a propaganda doll. They think she can be bought with a bar of candy and a shiny uniform inside her foxhole. Lyudmila does not laugh, and she certainly does not want their chocolate. She slowly raises her Mosin Nagant rifle. She looks through the scope. She scans the enemy trench line, searching for the man with the microphone. Her face is hard as stone. Her eyes are cold. She whispers to herself, "You can keep your chocolate, Fritz. I prefer to give you lead." The Germans are laughing now, but they won't be laughing for long because the woman they are mocking is not just a soldier. She is the deadliest female hunter in human history by the end of this war. She will have 309 confirmed kills. She will become a myth, a ghost, a legend known as Lady Death. But to understand how a young girl became a nightmare for the Nazi Empire, we have to go back. We have to go back to a time before the blood, before the mud, before the kill count. We have to go back to the library. Kiev, Ukraine, 1941. Lyudmila is 24 years old and she is not a killer, she is a scholar. She walks through the halls of Kiev University carrying a stack of books. She is majoring in history. She wants to be a teacher. She wants to be a researcher. She is beautiful. She has long, dark curly hair. She loves to wear silk blouses and fashionable skirts. She never leaves the house without her red lipstick. She is a mother to a young son. She is happy, but Lyudmila has a secret, a hidden talent that no one expects from a history student. It started a year ago. On a whim, she was at a park with some friends. A young man was bragging about his shooting skills. He was arrogant. He said that women could not handle a rifle. Lyudmila's eyes narrowed. She has always been competitive. She hates being told what she cannot do. "I bet I can outshoot you." She said. They went to a shooting range. The boy missed the target. Lyudmila picked up the rifle. She felt the weight of the wood and steel. It felt natural in her hands. She took a breath. She aimed. Bullseye. The instructor was shocked. He told her she had a gift, a natural gift for precision. She joined a paramilitary club. She earned the Voroshilov sharpshooter badge. She learned ballistics. She learned how wind affects a bullet, but to her, it was just a sport like tennis or swimming. She never imagined she would ever point a gun at a human being. Then came the day the music stopped. June 22nd, 1941. Lyudmila is on a train to Odessa. She is going to the beach to finish her thesis paper. Suddenly, the radio broadcasts a message that freezes the blood of every person on the train. Germany has attacked. Operation Barbarossa has begun. 3 million Nazi soldiers are pouring across the border. They are burning villages. They are bombing cities. War has come to Russia. Lyudmila does not go to the beach. She turns around. She goes straight to the recruitment office. She is furious. The history student is gone. The patriot has taken over. The recruitment office is chaos. It is filled with men, big, strong factory workers, farmers with calloused hands. When Lyudmila walks up to the desk, the recruiting officer looks at her like she is lost. He sees her manicured nail. He sees her nice dress. He sees her red lipstick. He smirks. "Lost your way, sweetheart?" he asks. "I want to enlist." Lyudmila says, "I want to fight." The officer laughs. He shakes his head. "Look, we need nurses. You look like a smart girl. Go join the Red Cross. We need people to wrap bandages." Lyudmila slams her hand on the desk. "I am not a nurse," she says firmly. "I am a sniper." She pulls out her certificates. She shows him her sharpshooter badge. The officer looks at the papers. He looks at her. He is still skeptical. "Paper targets are one thing. Little girl," he says. "Shooting a man is another. You will freeze, you will cry, you will get yourself killed." But Lyudmila refuses to leave. She argues until the officer finally gives in. "Fine," he sighs, "if you want to die, that is your choice." He sends her to the 25th Rifle Division, but even there, she is not a soldier yet. She is a burden. The commander does not give her a rifle. He gives her a shovel. He tells her to dig trenches for weeks. She digs in the dirt while the Germans get closer. The battle begins. The sound of war is deafening. Men are dying all around her. Finally, a soldier near her is killed by a mortar shell. His rifle falls into the mud. The commander looks at Lyudmila. He points to the fallen gun. "Pick it up," he yells. He points to a hill in the distance, about 400 meters away. There are two enemy soldiers moving across the bridge. They are Romanians, fighting for the Germans. "Show me what you can do." The commander says, "This is the moment, the audition." Lyudmila picks up the Mosin Nagant. It is heavy. It smells of oil and gunpowder. She lies down in the grass. Her heart is pounding. This is not a paper target. These are living, breathing men. They have mothers. They have lives. If she pulls this trigger, there is no going back. The history student will be gone forever. She looks through the scope. The crosshairs settle on the first soldier. She remembers the bombs falling on Kiev. She remembers the fear in her son's voice. Her hand stops shaking. Her breathing slows down. She exhales. Crack. The first soldier falls instantly. The second soldier stops. He looks confused. He does not know where the shot came from. Crack. The second soldier drops. 2 shots, 2 kills, no hesitation. Lyudmila lowers the rifle. She looks at the commander. The commander is staring at the bodies in the distance. Then he looks at the girl with the curly hair. He nods. A look of respect crosses his face. "Welcome to the Red Army," he says. That day, Lyudmila Pavlichenko died and Lady Death was born. She cuts her long hair short. She trades her silk blouse for a rough green tunic. She trades her heels for heavy combat boots. But she keeps one thing in her pocket. She keeps her lipstick, a small reminder of who she used to be. She is sent to the front lines of Odessa. The Germans are throwing everything they have at the city. It is a slaughterhouse. Lyudmila is about to enter the baptism of fire. She is about to learn that shooting a man is the easy part. The hard part is surviving the artillery, the hunger, and the loss of everyone you love. The Germans are coming, and they have no idea that a historian is waiting for them in the tall grass. August 1941. The city of Odessa. It is brutally hot. The sun beats down on the dry steppe like a hammer. The grass is yellow and brittle. The air is filled with dust that clogs the lungs. And in this heat, Lyudmila Pavlichenko is hunting. She is no longer the girl who checked her lipstick in the mirror. She is a creature of the earth. She wakes up at 3 in the morning before the sun rises. She crawls out of the trenches and into no man's land. This is the dead zone between the Soviet and German lines. It is a graveyard. The bodies of soldiers from yesterday's attack are still lying there. Lyudmila crawls through them. She moves on her belly, inch by inch. She pushes herself into the ground. She finds a spot, a small depression in the earth or the hollow of a tree stump. She settles in and then she freezes for the next 15 hours. She cannot move. She cannot scratch an itch. She cannot swat the flies that land on her face. She cannot eat. She cannot go to the bathroom. She just waits. Being a sniper is not like the movies. It is not running and gunning. It is a test of torture. It is a battle against your own body. Her muscles cramp. The sweat stings her eyes. The thirst is unbearable, but she does not move because movement means death. She watches the German lines through her scope. She learns their habits. She sees a German soldier light a cigarette. Mistake. She sees an officer stand up to stretch his legs. Mistake. She sees a helmet rise above the trench line. Mistake. She calculates the wind. It is blowing from the west. She adjusts the dial on her scope. 2 clicks left. She exhales slowly. She squeezes the trigger between heartbeats. Crack. The rifle kicks against her shoulder, 400 meters away. The German officer drops. He falls instantly. Silence returns to the field. Lyudmila does not celebrate. She does not smile. She simply pulls the bolt of her rifle. Clack, clack. She loads another round. One down, thousands to go by the end of August. The Germans know something is wrong. Their officers are dying at an alarming rate. Men are being shot while eating lunch. Sentries are dropping dead in the middle of the night. Fear begins to spread through the German ranks. They call it the White Terror. They realize there is a sniper out there, a ghost, but they have no idea it is a 25-year-old woman. Lyudmila is racking up kills, 10, 20, 50, but the war is taking a toll on her soul. Odessa is surrounded. The Red Army is trapped with their backs to the sea. The Germans are relentless. Every day brings new horror. One afternoon. Lyudmila is positioned in a cemetery on the edge of the city. She is hiding behind a tombstone. Her spotter, a young soldier named Leonid, is with her. He is cheerful. He talks about his family. He talks about what he will do when the war is over. Suddenly, a mortar shell whistles in. There is no time to run. Boom. The explosion throws Lyudmila against the marble grave. Her ears are ringing. Dirt rains down on her. She shakes her head. She looks over at Leonid. He is gone. The explosion has taken him instantly. Lyudmila stares at the empty boots. She stares at the scorched earth. She feels a scream building up in her throat. She wants to cry. She wants to throw down her rifle and run away, but she swallows the scream. She wipes the dirt from her face. She looks at the German lines and her eyes change before this moment. She was fighting for duty. She was fighting for her country. Now, she is fighting for revenge. The Germans are not humans to her anymore. They are invaders who destroy things. She picks up her rifle. She crawls back to the position. She does not leave the cemetery until she has killed 6 Germans. One for every hour Leonid will never see again. Hatred becomes her fuel. She stops feeling fear. She stops feeling pity. She becomes a machine. She starts taking dangerous assignments. She volunteers for counter-sniping missions. This is the deadliest game of all, sniper versus sniper. She lies in the mud, waiting for a German sniper to make a mistake. Sometimes, she waits for 2 days. She uses tricks. She puts a helmet on a stick and raises it slowly. Crack. The German sniper shoots the helmet. He reveals his position. Lyudmila sees the muzzle flash in the bushes. Got you, she whispers. She fires. The German sniper falls. She is better than them. She is more patient. She is colder by October. The count is staggering. 100 confirmed kills. News of her exploits reaches the city. The soldiers whisper her name in the trenches. Did you hear about the girl? They say, the one from the university. She killed 5 fascists today. They stop looking at her as a woman. They look at her as a guardian angel, a lethal protector, but the situation in Odessa is hopeless. The German ring is tightening. They are cutting off the water supply. They are starving the city. The Soviet High Command makes a difficult decision. Evacuate. They have to abandon Odessa to save the army. October 15th, 1941. The retreat begins. Lyudmila is on the docks. The city is burning behind her. The sky is black with smoke. Thousands of soldiers are crowding onto the ships. They are tired. They are defeated. Lyudmila looks at her rifle. The wood is scratched. The metal is worn. She has killed 187 men in 75 days, but it was not enough to save the city. She feels a heavy weight in her chest. She feels like she has failed. She boards the transport ship. The engines roar to life. As the ship pulls away, she watches the Germans enter the city. She watches the swastika flag rise over the buildings she tried to defend. She grips the railing of the ship until her knuckles turn white. We will come back, she vows. We will come back and kill them all. The ship turns south, across the Black Sea. They are heading to a new battlefield, a place even worse than Odessa. They are heading to the fortress city of Sevastopol. The soldiers on the ship are scared. They know that Sevastopol is a death trap, but Lyudmila Pavlichenko is not scared. She sits on the deck and cleans her rifle. She oils the bolt. She polishes the scope. She is ready. The baptism of fire is over. The student is dead. Lady Death has arrived. And in Sevastopol, she will face a challenge that will test the limits of human endurance. The Germans are about to send their best hunter to kill her. A duel is coming. November 1941. The Crimean Peninsula. The city of Sevastopol is a fortress carved into white rock. It stands on the edge of the Black Sea like a defiant fist. The Germans call it the Iron Fortress. They have dropped thousands of tons of bombs on it. They have turned the white cliffs into gray dust. But the city does not fall because inside the ruins, the Soviet 25th Rifle Division is holding the line, and among them is Lyudmila Pavlichenko. She is different now. The girl from Kiev is gone completely. Her skin is weathered by the wind. Her eyes are constantly scanning the horizon. Her hands are rough and stained with gun oil. She is a celebrity. Her face is on postage stamps. Her name is in the newspapers. The soldiers call her Our Lady. The Germans call her something else. They call her the Russian witch. They are terrified of her. German soldiers refuse to go on patrol in her sector. Officers remove their shiny badges so she cannot identify them. The German high command is furious. A single woman is stopping an entire battalion. It is embarrassing, so they decide to end it. They make a call to Berlin. They request a specialist, a hunter. A few days later, a German sniper arrives at the front. He is not an ordinary soldier. He is an aristocrat of death. He has fought in France. He has fought in Poland. His logbook records over 400 confirmed kills. He is one of the deadliest marksmen in the Third Reich. He has only one mission: find the woman and kill her. The duel begins on a Tuesday morning. Lyudmila is in her hideout. She is nestled deep inside a pile of broken concrete and twisted metal. She is invisible. She senses something is wrong. Usually, the birds sing in the morning. Usually, there is movement in the German lines, but today, there is only silence, a heavy, oppressive silence. She knows what it means. There is another predator in the jungle. She scans the terrain. Nothing. Just rocks, dead trees, and shadows, but she feels eyes on her. Crack. A bullet hits the rock 3 inches from her head. Lyudmila freezes. She does not flinch. She does not move. She knows that shot was a trap. The German sniper missed on purpose. He wants her to panic. He wants her to move so he can see where she is. She stays still. She waits for nightfall. Then she crawls away. Day 1 ends in a draw. Day 2. The sun rises over Sevastopol. It is a cold, biting morning. Lyudmila returns to the zone, but this time, she changes her position. She climbs a tree. It is risky if he sees her. She has nowhere to run, but she needs the height. She scans the field. She sees a flash of light. A reflection? No, it is a trick. The German has placed a piece of glass on a bush. He wants her to shoot at it. If she shoots, the muzzle flash will reveal her location. Then, he will put a bullet in her brain. She smiles grimly. You are good, Fritz, she whispers. But I am better. She does not shoot. She waits. The hours drag on. 5 hours, 10 hours. Her body is screaming. Her muscles are cramping. Her bladder is full. The pain is excruciating. Every instinct in her body tells her to move, to stretch, to relieve herself, but she cannot. To be a sniper is to turn yourself into a stone. If you move, you die. She urinates in her pants. She does not care. The warm liquid turns cold against her skin. She ignores it. She focuses on her breathing. In, out, in, out. The German sniper is doing the same. He is out there somewhere, waiting, watching. It is a game of patience. The first one to blink loses. Day 2 ends. No shots fired. Day 3. This is it, the finale. Lyudmila knows that today must be the day. The tension is too high. One of them will make a mistake. She picks a new spot, a shallow ditch covered with dry leaves. The sun is brutal today. The glare is blinding. She sets up a trap. She takes a helmet. She puts it on a stick. She asks her spotter, lying 10 feet away, to raise it slowly, just a few inches, like a soldier peeking over the edge. The spotter raises the helmet. Crack. A bullet punches a hole through the metal helmet. The German sniper has taken the bait. He thinks he has killed her, but he is a professional. He does not celebrate yet. He waits to see the body. Lyudmila watches through her scope. She is looking for the muzzle flash, there, under a sheet of corrugated iron, near a burnt-out tank. She saw a leaf move, just a tiny movement. She knows exactly where he is, but she cannot shoot yet. He is still hidden in the shadows. She needs him to show his head. She waits. The sun begins to set. The shadows grow long. The light is fading. The German sniper has been waiting for hours. He shot the helmet. He has seen no movement. He thinks the Russian witch is dead. He relaxes just for a second. He lifts his head slightly to look better, to confirm his kill. That is the mistake. That is the moment Lyudmila has been waiting for 3 days. She sees the top of his forehead. She sees his eyes. She exhales. She does not think about the war. She does not think about her son. She thinks only of the crosshairs squeeze, crack. The sound echoes across the valley. The German sniper's head snaps back. He collapses. He does not move again. Lyudmila lowers her rifle. She lets out a long, shaky breath. It is over, but she needs proof. She waits until total darkness. Then, she crawls across no man's land. She crawls right up to the enemy position. She finds the body. He is dead, a precise shot. She searches his pockets. She finds his logbook. She opens it. She reads the entries. France, Dunkirk, Poland. 400 confirmed kills. He was a master, a legend in his own army. And he was killed by a 25-year-old history student. Lyudmila takes his rifle, a Mauser with a telescopic sight. She takes his logbook. She crawls back to her lines. When she returns to the bunker, the other soldiers look at her. She looks like a ghost. She is covered in filth. She smells of urine and sweat. Her eyes are red with exhaustion. She throws the German sniper's rifle on the table. It lands with a heavy thud. She throws the logbook next to it. He is finished, she says. Her commander picks up the book. He reads the numbers. He looks at Lyudmila with awe. You just killed their king, he says. But Lyudmila does not smile. She walks to her cot. Lapses. She sleeps for 20 hours straight. When she wakes up, the news has spread. The morale of the Soviet troops skyrockets. The morale of the Germans crashes. They know that their best man is dead. They know that no one is safe from Lady Death, but the war is not over. And fate has one more cruel twist waiting for Lyudmila. She has survived the bullets. She has survived the duel, but she is about to face something she cannot shoot. She is about to fall in love, and in the city of Sevastopol. Love is a death sentence. A tragedy is coming. One that will hurt more than any shrapnel. December 1941. Winter has come to Sevastopol. The city is covered in a shroud of white snow, but the snow does not stay white for long. It turns gray from the ash. It turns red from the blood. Lyudmila Pavlichenko is tired. She has been fighting for 6 months without a break. She has killed over 200 men. Her soul is heavy. She feels like she is losing her humanity. She feels like she is becoming just a weapon, a piece of cold steel. But then, in the middle of this frozen hell, something happens. Something that reminds her she is still a woman. She meets a man. His name is Junior Lieutenant Alexei Kitsenko. He is a sniper, just like her. He is tall. He has kind eyes that have seen too much war. They are paired together on missions. They spend days lying side by side in the snow, waiting for targets. They share their body heat to keep from freezing. They share their meager rations of dry bread and canned beef. At first, they talk only about the war, about wind speed, about bullet trajectory, but slowly, the walls come down. Alexei makes her laugh. He tells her stories about his home. He listens to her talk about her son, about her history books, about the life she left behind in Kiev, in a world filled with death. They find a spark of life in each other. They fall in love. It is a desperate kind of love, a love born on the edge of a cliff. They know that every kiss might be their last. They know that tomorrow does not exist. Alexei becomes her anchor when her hands shake from exhaustion. He holds them. When the nightmares come, he wakes her up. He protects her and she protects him. They decide to get married. They fill out the paperwork at the regimental headquarters. There is no white dress. There is no church. There is no cake. Just 2 soldiers in dirty uniforms, promising to hold on to each other until the end of the world. But in Sevastopol, the end of the world is always just a heartbeat away. March 1942, a cloudy morning. Lyudmila and Alexei are on a forward patrol. They are hunting a German mortar crew that has been harassing the Soviet lines. They are moving through a ravine. The air is quiet. Lyudmila is happy. For the first time in a long time, She feels hope. She thinks about the future, maybe, just maybe. They will survive this. She looks at Alexei. He is walking a few steps ahead of her. He turns back to smile at her, and then the world explodes. There is no whistle, no warning. A German mortar shell lands right next to Alexei. Boom, the blast wave knocks Lyudmila backward. She hits the ground hard. Her ears are ringing. She scrambles to her feet. She runs through the smoke. Alexei, she screams. Alexei, she finds him lying in the mud. He is hurt bad. His uniform is soaked in blood. Lyudmila drops to her knees. She throws away her rifle. She grabs him. She pulls his head onto her lap. Alex, please stay with me, stay with me. She tries to stop the bleeding with her hands, but there is too much blood. It slips through her fingers. Alexei looks up at her. His eyes are fading. He tries to speak, but only a wheeze comes out. He squeezes her hand one last time, and then his hand goes limp. The kind eyes stare at the gray sky, seeing nothing. Lyudmila freezes. She sits there in the ravine, holding the body of the man she loved, the man she was going to marry. She rocks back and forth. She does not scream. She does not cry. The pain is too deep for tears. It feels like the mortar shell hit her, not him. It feels like her heart has been ripped out of her chest. The medics come. They take his body away. Lyudmila stands up. She picks up her rifle. She looks at the German lines, and in that moment, Lyudmila Pavlichenko breaks. The discipline is gone. The patience is gone. The history student is gone. All that is left is a demon for the next week. She goes on a rampage. She does not sleep. She does not eat. She goes out into no man's land alone. She hunts them like animals. She does not care about safety. She stands up in the open. She dares them to shoot her. She wants them to die, all of them. Her kill count rises rapidly. 250, 270, 300. She kills with a savagery that scares her own commanders. She is not fighting for victory anymore. She is fighting to drown her grief in blood, but no matter how many she kills, it does not bring Alexei back. June 1942, the end of Sevastopol. The Germans have launched their final assault. They have brought in the massive railway gun Dora. They are crushing the city into dust. Lyudmila is still fighting, but she is exhausted. She is sick. One afternoon, a mortar shell explodes near her trench. Shrapnel tears into her face. It buries itself in her back. She collapses. She is bleeding from multiple wounds. She cannot see. She cannot stand. They drag her to the field hospital. It is a cave filled with the screams of the dying. There are no medicines left. There are no bandages. She lies on a dirty cot, drifting in and out of consciousness. She hears the rumble of German tanks getting closer. The city is falling. The order comes from Moscow. Soviet high command knows that Sevastopol is lost. They know that thousands of soldiers will be captured or killed. But they cannot let Lyudmila Pavlichenko be captured. She is a symbol. She is a hero. If the Germans catch her, they will parade her in Berlin. They will torture her. They will destroy the morale of the entire Red Army. So, they make a choice. A submarine is sent. The last submarine to leave the city. It docks at the crumbling pier under the cover of darkness. Chaos erupts at the harbor. Thousands of soldiers and civilians are desperate to get on board. They are pushing. They are screaming. They are begging, "Take me, please, don't leave us," but the submarine is small. There is no room. Soldiers hold back the crowd with bayonets. Lyudmila is carried on a stretcher. She is weak. Her face is banded. She looks around. She sees the faces of the men she fought with. The men who dug trenches with her. The men who shared their food with her. She is leaving them behind. She tries to protest. She tries to get up. "I cannot leave." She whispers, "My unit, my friends." But she has no choice. She is valuable cargo. They lower her into the dark belly of the submarine. The hatch closes. The steel locks tight. The submarine submerges above them, on the surface. The slaughter continues. Sevastopol falls. The Germans take the city. 90,000 Soviet soldiers are taken prisoner. Most of them will never return home. Lyudmila lies in the darkness of the submarine, listening to the hum of the engine. She is alive. She has survived the war. She has survived the duel. She has survived the death of her lover. But as the submarine carries her away from the burning city, she does not feel like a winner. She feels a crushing guilt, the guilt of the survivor. Why me, she thinks. Why do I get to live? She touches the bandage on her face. The scar will heal, but the wound in her soul will never close. She has 309 kills to her name. She is the deadliest woman on earth, but inside, she is just a girl who lost everything. The submarine heads for the safety of the mainland. Lyudmila thinks her war is over. She thinks she will fade into obscurity, but she is wrong. Destiny has one more mission for her. She is not going back to the front lines. She is going somewhere she never imagined. She is going to the White House. She is going to meet the President of the United States. And she is going to teach the world a lesson about what a woman can do. Late 1942. Washington, D.C., the flashbulbs pop like grenades. The noise of the crowd is deafening. Lyudmila Pavlichenko steps off the train. She is wearing her olive-green uniform. It is old. It is faded. The gold star of a hero of the Soviet Union shines on her chest. She looks around. She sees men in expensive suits. She sees women in silk dresses. She sees a city that has not been touched by bombs. It feels like a different planet. A few months ago, she was drinking water from a muddy puddle in Sevastopol. She was burying her husband in a shallow grave. Now, she is a diplomat. The Soviet Union needs help. They need the United States to open a second front in Europe to take the pressure off the Red Army. So, Joseph Stalin sent his best weapon to America. Not a tank, not a general, but a 25-year-old girl with a scar on her face and 309 kills in her logbook. She is invited to the White House. She becomes the first Soviet citizen in history to be welcomed by a United States president. Franklin Roosevelt sits in his wheelchair. He looks at the small woman standing in the Oval Office. He sees the pain in her eyes, but it is the First Lady, Eleanor Roosevelt, who truly sees her. Eleanor breaks protocol. She does not treat Lyudmila like a foreign soldier. She treats her like a daughter. She invites Lyudmila to tour the country with her. They become unlikely friends. The wealthy American aristocrat and the communist sniper, but not everyone is as kind as Eleanor. The American press is brutal. They do not know how to handle a woman warrior. They have never seen one before. At a press conference in Washington, the reporters do not ask her about her tactics. They do not ask about the German sniper she dueled for 3 days. They do not ask about the friends she lost. Instead, they ask about her clothes. One reporter raises his hand. "Miss Pavlichenko," he asks, in American war movies, "the nurses wear short skirts. Your uniform is very loose and fat-making. Does it not make you feel ugly?" Lyudmila stares at him. She touches the collar of her tunic. "This uniform still has the blood of her friends on it." Another reporter asks, "Do you wear makeup on the front lines? Do you curl your hair before you go into battle?" Lyudmila is stunned. She is a major in the Red Army. She has killed more Nazis than any American general, and they are asking her about lipstick. She tries to be polite. She says, "There is no rule against makeup, but who has time to think about their shiny nose when a battle is going on?" The reporters laugh. They write headlines calling her the girl sniper. They describe her as a novelty act. Lyudmila is furious. She tells Eleanor Roosevelt, "I am amazed at the kind of questions these correspondents ask me. They make me very angry, but Lyudmila knows she has a job to do. She has to win the hearts of the American people. She has to convince them to fight, so she stops being polite." Chicago, a massive rally. Thousands of people are packed into the hall. The air is thick with cigar smoke. Lyudmila stands on the stage. She looks small behind the podium. The crowd is noisy. They are murmuring. Lyudmila leans into the microphone. She does not speak perfect English, but her voice is steady. It is the voice of a commander. She looks out at the sea of men, men who are safe, men who are hiding behind an ocean while her people are dying. She takes a deep breath, and she delivers the lines that will go down in history. "Gentlemen," she says, "I am 25 years old, and by now, I have killed 309 fascist invaders." The room goes quiet. The murmuring stops. She continues. Her eyes burn with intensity. "Don't you think, gentlemen, that you have been hiding behind my back for too long?" Silence. Absolute silence for a few seconds. No one breathes, the shame hangs in the air, and then, a roar, the crowd erupts. They jump to their feet, they cheer, they scream. They are not cheering for a girl in a skirt anymore. They are cheering for a warrior in that moment. She won the war of public opinion. She forced America to look the reality of war in the face. She returns to the Soviet Union a hero, but she never goes back to the front lines. Her body is too broken. Her soul is too tired. She spends the rest of the war training other snipers. She teaches them how to breathe, how to hide, how to kill. She passes the torch to a new generation. When the war finally ends, Lyudmila tries to find peace. She finishes her education at Kiev University. She becomes what she always wanted to be, a historian. She works as a research assistant. She lives a quiet life in a small apartment, but the war never really leaves her. She suffers from nightmares. She hears the sound of mortars in her sleep. She sees the face of Alexei, her lost husband. Every time she closes her eyes, she drinks to forget. Years pass. The Cold War begins. The United States and the Soviet Union become enemies. The borders are closed, but friendship is stronger than politics. In 1957, 15 years after the war, Eleanor Roosevelt visits Moscow. She is surrounded by KGB agents. They tell her she cannot go anywhere without permission. Eleanor demands to see Lyudmila. The agents try to stop her, but no one says no to Eleanor Roosevelt. She goes to Lyudmila's small apartment. Lyudmila opens the door. She is older now. She has gained weight. She looks tired, but when she sees Eleanor, her face lights up. The two women, the sniper and the first lady, embrace. They go into the bedroom and lock the door so the agents cannot hear them. They sit on the bed and talk for hours. They cry. They remember the time when they stood together against the world. It is a beautiful moment of humanity in a divided world. Lyudmila Pavlichenko passed away in 1974. She was only 58 years old. The stroke that killed her was likely caused by the years of stress, the wounds, and the trauma of the war. She was buried in Moscow. Today, history remembers her as Lady Death, the woman who terrorized the Nazis, but we should remember her as something more. We should remember her as the student who gave up her books to save her country. We should remember her as the mother who fought to protect her son. We should remember her as the woman who stood in front of a room full of men and told them the truth. She proved that courage has no gender. She proved that a woman with a rifle can change the course of history. 309 kills. Not out of hatred for the enemy, but out of love for what she was protecting. If this story inspired you, please take a second to hit the like button. It helps these stories survive. And tell me in the comments, what is the bravest thing you have ever done? If you want to see more true stories about the heroes of World War II, subscribe and turn on notifications. We are bringing history back to life. This was the story of Lyudmila Pavlichenko, the legend who never missed. Thank you for watching.